Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Shop Talk with Tim. Today we're going to talk about something that I started talking about in a previous video, and that it had an interesting top that was all kinds of different woods and laid up, and it didn't work out quite right, but what did work out really well was actually making this out of a white oak. And it's a little bit lighter, but it's also dual purpose. It can be small for 4 people, or we can make it into a top here easily for up to 10 people. And I'm going to show you how I made that top. This is the basic table. I'm not going to go into much detail about how this was made, because there's other useful videos that talk about joinery and things like that. But I want to just say that I made the top out of white oak, which is very durable, with a hand rub finish, which is very easy to maintain. You can just rub more on there and rub scratches out, so I'm not too worried about that. The same finish that's on here is on this too, and I'm going to talk about how that works on top of here, so it keeps it from sliding and keeps you a little more expanded if you need more space. This stores in a closet. And what happens sometimes is, if you had something that big, it would take up a lot of floor space for maybe other things that you need to get around. So that's why I didn't want to have it 54 inches of round table here. So this mostly sits like this in our game room and family room. So I'm going to just describe to you the steps of how I got to this top and how this works. All right, this is the tabletop. It's made out of Baltic birch. And Baltic birch is a very sturdy plywood, many plies. It's metric actually, it's about a ½ inch thick. And this is 2 ply, so there's 2 layers of Baltic birch. The top layer, which you saw when I was over there, is 1 piece. And Baltic birch, as far as I know, is the only plywood that comes in 5x5 sheets. So I take 2 sheets of that, and the bottom sheet I pre-cut a square in there, and I made sure that it fit on top of the other tabletop, the original tabletop. So this when I put this all together, it was irregular shape. It was still kind of square, and I rough cut it with a jigsaw. But then I had to find the center of it. And that's what I'm going to show you now, what I do from this point forward. Now, for purposes of demonstration, this piece of plywood is just stuck on here with double stick tape. This here is your center. So I kind of strike the center between the corners there. This here is a piece of plexiglass, and it's left over from a previous job I did years ago. And you can see I've used it a number of times from all the different holes I have. I did mark the one for this tabletop here so I don't put it in the wrong hole. Now what you'll first have to do when you get your router set up is take the base off of your router that it came with. And then you need to take those same screws and mount. This is now your new router base. And this I use as a trammel. Now the purpose of having something that's at the same plane here is so that it doesn't dip in when you screw it down. So this here, I have this, just a small panhead screw, and then I have to kind of locate the hole here. All right, here we go. We got the center. And what this will do for me now is allow me to swing it like a compass all the way around here. Now the one thing you need to pay attention to is when you choose your router bit, make sure you go from the edge of your router bit to the center, because if you put a bigger bit in here, it'll make your table smaller. If you put a smaller bit in there, it'll make it a little bit bigger if you keep everything the same. This happens to be a Freud upcut spiral bit, which puts a nice edge on it. So you make sure that you're, and I'm not tightening this down so I'm not going to turn it on, but you make sure that you're right at the edge, and make sure that your cutting surface is all engaged. Lock this in tight, make sure your router bit's tight, because it makes a big mess if it's loose or the bit falls out. So when I start a cut like this, I don't have a plunge router here, so I just kind of drop it in carefully, and then while it's running you just kind of swing it all the way around, and that's just the way it works. Does a nice job, and once you got it all centered up like that, you're going to be right where you need to be. All right, I'm taking this center screw out now. Assuming we've got everything done, let's kind of set this aside. And now, originally when I put this on here, I had just glued it down better so it wouldn't come loose. But this comes right off because I just have double stick tape on here. Now the reason I like the this oil finish top is that it doesn't get scratched. So I just slide this on. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Yep, now it's tight and it won't slide off. And then you can have your game and pull it out a little from the wall and sit more people around it. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up and watch my other videos, and we'll link the tools. I don't have a source for the plexiglass, but if you want it for making a trammel, but anything would work, a piece of plywood or masonite. Subscribe and check out the links below, and we'll see you next time. We got a cat watching us here. Give me the cat. Should I have the cat in here? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Well, she likes it too. And we'll see you next week.